Somos podcast sem igual, onde se fala da cultura de Portugal. Eventos, música e comida a brilhar, um lugar de amor pela nossa terra natal.
Sit down! Nobody talk! Sit down! We drink wine and relax! You are sad? There are many sads. I'm not good. I'm not good enough. I know that. Don't make faces. It's only the one in my team. I try to do my best. It's all. In a few years you can be a manager and you can do it. No problem. But until now, guys, I am the boss and I decide.
Fuck it.
There goes the Beamer.
Baby Nilo, we're back. I'm back. Well, mostly me. I'm just back. I was gone. I went to Connecticut to see my parentals. You know, the usual.
Ela chorou?
No.
Deu-te beijinho na bochecha?
No.
Marquinha.
No, she didn't.
Was there any emotion?
She smiled.
Oh, absolutely. No,
She smiled?
No,
Yeah.
she didn't. She,
No,
like,
stop
because of Juliana or because
No, I only went by
First
myself.
time you said?
Oh, yeah.
It was on a Saturday, dude. Or, yeah,
Então,
Saturday, yeah.
Mas você também faz não estava?
Yeah,
Também
mas
ias
isso
no
é
sábado
mais...
à noite.
Who?
Tu não ias sábado à noite, talvez?
No.
Before the Hush anniversary, yeah.
Absolutely. I wouldn't. I don't know what you're talking. Well, for that, yeah, you would have to. But I'm back. You know, it's nice to be back. It's been. I feel like it's been like forever.
How's Connecticut?
It's good. Just went there for business shit.
Nice.
So you know, had my old stomping grounds of Naugatuck. But yeah, how you doing, Joel?
Hey, no, not there in paradise. It's, all this June has been headaches
I
and
agree.
excitement.
Same.
Relax,
You're not even part of a
You're not even
group,
part of
bro.
a group, dude.
You got nothing going on.
I don't have to be part of a group to be fucking
You
stressed.
went to Connecticut. The only thing you've done in June, bro.
Fuck you.
You've done nothing else in June.
And train your dog.
Absolutely.
That's it. That's all
right.
you got going on.
Yeah.
And then everybody else in this panel is Rashu,
Shut up.
family,
Give me a break.
Our guest might not
coaching.
be in a group, but he had kids that he has to take to groups.
That's
Oh
right.
my God, Jesus.
I did my time.
Joey, how you doing?
I'm tired, bro.
The Mayo?
I'm tired, bro.
What time did you wake up?
What time I text you? 6:45?
I was
Close
up
to
at
7?
I was-
7, yeah.
So you woke up at 7?
Yeah.
All right, I've been up longer than you. What time did you wake up?
What time you been up all week?
Yeah.
What time you been up all week?
6 a.m.
4
on the
o'clock,
dot.
bro. Don't give me that bullshit.
Well, I don't
4
care.
o'clock,
That's
bro.
a you problem, not me.
I woke up when Deus told me to wake up.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
even need
no,
an alarm.
that's-
Deus brought a ray of sunshine, and I'm like,
my
acorda,
God.
filho.
Jesus
Unfortunately, Dills was like, Joel's going to beat your ass. Get the fuck off.
And then I called Joey right away. I was like, Joey,
I'm late.
at this time, I'm going to be there. Make sure you're there. He goes, oh, I'm get out of bed in like 20 minutes. And I was like, no, 10. And he goes,
No.
18, 10. And we made it for 12. That was the
Nice.
best
He only
break.
gave me 2 minutes. I fucking compromised on 8. He gave me 2.
You gotta get where you gotta get it. You gotta take it where you get it for this. So we're here with another special guest of ours, Nick Lavrador. If you want to introduce yourself,
After we just said your name.
did we? It's been a while. It's been a while. Sorry.
Now, Coach Nick Lavrador.
Sorry, Coach, Senior Coach, Mister. Yeah, tell us about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm a coach here locally at Ironbound Soccer Club. Luckily, I'm a part of a group that is nationally recognized and plays in the highest level of competition. And kind of one of the main mottos of our club is to put our kids in the highest level of competition at like the lowest cost, because we are like an urban community and like an immigrant community. So a lot of the clubs that we're playing and we're competing against are, in that pay-to-play American system of like $5,000-6,000 a year, which is bananas to think about, in Europe or South America, them paying that much. But yeah, so luckily, I've been with the club for 9 years. I've been coaching for 13. I started out in Kearney, at Kearney United with the likes of Jason Dantas, Jose Fernandes, Enrique and Miguel Veloso, who were all partners of mine when we were coaching at Kearney United, and then we did Benfica together. Yeah, and so I've been coaching ever since. I work with the company that is affiliated with Ironbound Soccer Club, which is Salvation Army. I am the director of the Boys and Girls Club, so I run like the after-school program. So a lot of what I do is to just get kids off the street, doing their homework, finding the balance of their love of soccer and trying to get good grades, because as we're trying to, get these guys to the next level, not everybody's going to be pro, as you guys know, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So the first question that college recruiters ask when they call is like, how are their grades? So we try to get them to be a little bit comfortable with that, but you know how it is. It's a battle.
I feel like
just want to play.
I feel like it's such a difference between you see like all these kids in like academies in Europe where I'm sure they have like schoolwork, but not like.
It's
I
definitely
don't think the clubs don't really give a fuck that much.
No, it's definitely got more stricter.
Has
right?
it?
'Cause I don't know if you've watched. If you watched the documentary at Benfica, the Road to Glory or whatever the fuck the thing was called, bro.
Their academy, yeah.
Bro, and there was a part in the program where it was like, tu estás doente para a escola, estás doente para o treino.
What trainer?
Oh, wow.
You know, and it's definitely gotten more there in Europe where, it's soccer, obviously is what you want to do, is what you want to make it as a career.
Yeah.
But you need to also have a fallback.
Yeah,
Well,
no, I agree.
At the end of the day, you have to have you have to become a scholar because again, like Nick said, not everybody becomes pro, and you need determination within the lines of the soccer pitch as well as inside the school. So if you don't have the grades, I agree. You shouldn't be playing because at the end of the day, you need a fallback plan. You need to make sure you have the right education especially now. Now, I just saw a video. One of the schools in Newark, the high school, I think Duolingo ended up giving them a scholarship money for like having different types, knowing more than 3 languages. And like most of those kids play soccer, believe it or not. I think it was like 37 kids that know multilingual, which is great. And now, back to what you were saying within the money structure, obviously you said that it's based on immigrants or people with low income that want to play soccer and stuff like that. Does that make a big difference in between people that pay a high grade to academies and a low grade, as in case, obviously, now, again, the program that you guys have, like you said, is there a big difference within that, or is it raw talent that is needed?
Are you talking about like on the field stuff?
Yeah.
So one of the biggest differences, and especially that's super relevant with us, is like when you start talking about the clubs that we are in the pot of, right? So like Cedar Stars, who have an academy here in Newark and in Bergen County, Monmouth County. When you're talking about like the PDAs, when you're talking about those clubs, those kids are super, super athletic. They're just born into an American culture where they're playing baseball, they're playing basketball, they're playing lacrosse, they're running, they're swimming, badminton, whatever it is that you can think under the sun. Right. So these kids are athletes, so they're tough. But what we have cultural richness, and we have like just a diversity of raw talent. So when you talk about putting the ball on the ground and playing ball, there's nobody really that's going to touch us. Yeah. But when you talk about long ball, physical, direct game, those guys, you have to learn how to play against that. What I tell other clubs, I've spoken to a lot of other different clubs and a lot of directors of coaching and everything. They're like, man, how do you guys do it? How do you guys find, like, we play you guys in March and then we play you in September and you guys have these guys. Do you know what it's like? Like, you show up to the park, you're training, and the kid comes and goes, cheguei agora do Brasil, quero jogar. And he gets on the pitch and he dribbles your whole team and just scores. And you're just like, all right, you're in. So there's a big difference there. And when you look at the pay-to-play system, it's an activity for a lot of those guys, right? The parents are like, you're training 3 times a week, you're going here, and their schedules are there. Here, it's like you leave school, you're training, they already have their training stuff in their bag, they go to practice, they walk to practice. Like, the parents aren't like expecting them to go, they're like, they know they're going to be there. Yeah. They know they're going to be training. Whereas in other places, it's a little bit different. But I think that's what makes us a little bit special, and why a lot of our opponents, especially like the ones that are ran by like guys from England and stuff, they respect the hell out of us because they're like, man, this is soccer culture. This is what it should be. The community and the neighborhood involved, and all that stuff. But Ironbound's grown to have like a lot of people from the surrounding areas coming. So I think only 50% of our kids are from Newark now. And we have like kids from like all over. We have kids from New York and everything coming over to play for us. Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, I actually saw a video. I remember watching a video when Zlatan played here in LA, and he was saying that it's kind of crazy how they charge tens of thousands of dollars to have your kid play in the academy, but then if you go over to Europe, it's like not that. It's like half or maybe even less to have your kids go to the academy each year and, do all that. It's kind of wild to see that it costs more to have your kid go through these academies here compared to Europe, where in Europe, that's where they're playing the better footy. They're playing, just better teams. And then over here, it's like, I'm not going to shit on fucking MLS, but it's not the Prem. It's not
as
La Liga.
competitive.
It's not as competitive. So it's kind of wild how, that's how it is. I would feel like it would be the opposite, where Europe, you have to pay like all this money to like play for like a Sporting Academy, a Porto Academy, or a Benfica Academy, or whatever the case may be. But like, then come here for MLS and play for like Red Bulls or whatever and pay like, not that much. It's kind of wild how that kind of correlates with, the academies.
I also think the structure of it is completely different, right?
Yeah.
From like, and I talk again from the documentary of Benfica, right? Their structure is football. Their main core. They might have other activities around there where people, you're going out to try out for the soccer team. You might end up on the futsal team, or you might do something else.
Yeah.
And their main core is to build athletes. Here, your main core is money, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
And that is every sport and anything here.
Yeah.
Everything is driven by baseball, football, soccer. Anything here is driven by money. And I didn't have the privilege to go through academies because when I was growing up, and they could probably attest to this, Connecticut wasn't big on academy teams. You had high school.
I mean,
You had Ponte in our area. You had Ponte, and you had another one. That was it.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
it was shit ton of money when I was trying to go through them.
NYS, no?
No,
Well,
they weren't even around
didn't
yet.
Tyler
Really?
go to an academy? And
But
he
it
was
was
in
like
a
a part of
department
the
of-
make-
youth, whatever.
But that's not an academy, bro. That's a youth program. There's a completely big difference.
No, yeah.
You know.
That's where a lot of the kids went.
Yeah,
when
no,
they-
I played in Naugatuck Valley.
Yeah.
Right, but it's not an academy.
Yeah, that's true too.
You pay to play. It's
It's
one
like
practice
a-
a week. There's nothing else.
But
It's like
there's-
a boys
but there's-
girls club type
Academies,
of
you
thing.
almost have to try out.
Yeah.
You have to make that.
The word academy here is used very loosely.
Yeah.
It's used loosely because it's in Europe. It is very specific. You are in this roadmap, this development. You're in this pyramid, getting up, and here it's just to sell, like you said, your brand. Oh, we're an academy, but
Yeah.
what does that mean?
Yeah. My nephew's
How old is he?
17 now, right?
Sure?
And no, he's 17 maybe.
Okay.
He's 17. He's 17.
You sure?
Positive. I think so.
Pretty sure it's
Now he's played for Rush in Connecticut.
Yep.
Now my nephew's been to Italy. My nephew's been to Switzerland with this team, and it's different because it wasn't the $5,000 to $10,000. They were very small in comparison to like that. It was very Portuguese based. The owner, the founder was Portuguese. He had a lot of Portuguese coaches. He had a couple guys from England also, and my sister didn't break the bank. My sister's breaking the bank now in Florida because my family moved down to Florida. And he
Speaking
plays-
of, I know it's like off the track. Is he going to play soccer in college? Do you know? Off the top of your head?
So he hasn't committed anywhere yet, this is where the grades part comes back into effect. I think he got an offer to go play in West Virginia
like
for a D2 school.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Could always
The
transfer.
problem is they keep going back and forth because of the grades. He might not have a full scholarship. But he's tried out. He plays for. Oh my God, what's the academy down there now?
Don't look at
I
me.
don't even know. But he's tried out also for the semi-pro team down there now in Orlando. Not Orlando FC, it's Orlando Palms. And the amount of money I hear sometimes my sister dishes out is fucking insane, bro.
Yeah.
And it's not even like for the year, bro. It's for like the quarter.
Yeah.
It's like $4 or $5 grand for like, it's nuts, bro.
Oh my god, that's a
You,
little.
you gotta remember, United States youth sports is $1 billion industry. Like people can make a living off of being the owner of a club because of what they charge and what people are willing to pay. Whereas in Europe, if you're not an academy director in a team or in a legitimate, club, it's hard for you to do that.
Yeah.
Like you're not just going to start a club and kids are going to sign up and they're going to trust you to develop those players. Here, we can on this podcast decide right now what we're going to do, and we'll
Tasca Lusa FC, bro.
and we're in.
Yeah, that's our pro club's name. What's up?
You pay the registration fee to get into a league and you're in. It's very, very different. But so like to bring it down full circle, I think a lot of things start from the top and trickle down, right? So I think the system of America that you see is very, very rugged, and there's not like a direct path, which in a sense could be good, right? Because you asked if you committed to college. The chances of you doing that in Portugal or anywhere else in the world is zero, right? You can go to college and then you can enter the MLS draft, which is in what itself a weird concept, but it is what it is, right? But the issue is you're starting your pro career at 22 versus 16, 17, João Neves 04, right? That's the big difference there. But what I want to tie together is the marketability of soccer in American business is very hard for a company to grasp, right? Because think about all the major sports, football, hockey, basketball, even golf. How many breaks do you have within a 10-minute period?
We can have a commercial, period. You can fucking throw some money at.
Right? In soccer, you got 45 straight minutes plus stoppage of no commercials, of no marketing, of who's going to put their name by the score, who's going to put their name on the scoreboards on the bottom. That's what they're fighting for. Yeah. So because of that, the investment in professional soccer isn't there. So because that's not there, when you trickle down to the academies, that's why I have a pay-to-play system. Because they're not going to invest in these kids getting ready, and they're like, all right, I only get one sponsor here. That's why you see these teams in South America with sponsors on their butts, on their groins, on their shorts, because they're like, man, if I can put a sponsor anywhere, I'm going to put, you got the Frito-Lays, you got the Pepsi, you got the Mickey D, you got all that stuff.
You go down, you put face down, ass up, and you have Guaraná Antarctica.
That's where you like to score,
You even watch soccer live now, bro, and it's like, you're watching it here in the States, right? That's why, dude, I love watching any type of soccer on Sport TV or anything else, right? Because on Sport TV, right, game's about to start, you're seeing the players come out, you're seeing the warm-up, you're seeing the fucking coin toss, you're seeing everything, the national anthem. Bro, you watch a game on an American channel, the first time you see the team is kickoff.
I think Fox did that yesterday with Scotland and Germany. Fox just went to the kickoff.
But that's because, again, like Nick said, it's all about advertisement. It's all like that's where you make the money. Like think about it. I think it was a couple of days now with inflation, it's probably more. But like Super Bowl, you go to Super Bowl, all those ads are 1.5 million. Each
20 seconds.
For 20 seconds. You know what I mean? So
you're talking about one day out of the year, though.
I heard you guys are on next Super Bowl. You guys are advertising.
We got very good sponsors. I heard Ironbound is one of them.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying.
I just want to do a side note that me, Joe, and Joey, you usually not Joey. He flakes on us all the time. When we play pro clubs, this is what we need. We need this. We need this for fucking like formation, Captain.
Tactical periodization.
You guys even look at my texts, let alone look at it.
Absolutely not. I always respond.
Yeah. Okay.
The fuck. Anyways.
No, so again, that's a very good point. In that, like within the scouting itself, I feel like it's completely different here than in Europe itself.
I agree.
Like I'm gonna speak for Portugal. Like Mateus Nunes, I think he was at Ericeira or whatever the hell he was, and then he went from Ericeira. A scout from Estoril ended up getting him. Mind you, he was working full time at the bakery on his mom's bakery and stuff like that, and then happened to be scouted from Sporting, from Estoril, and then ended up playing on the Liga Revelação, which is like the U23 type of thing, and then again became the player that it is, and now playing for the national team in the Euro. You know what I mean? It's like completely different. Like you don't need the greatest education in Portugal. No, but I feel like if you are academy raised, as in like I'm gonna speak for Sporting itself, like if you are going through all shit, you get first scouted as a kid, like Cristiano Ronaldo did when he was playing in Madeira, got scouted to Sporting, and you still have to have that certain education on playing, or else you may not play, or you may stay behind on playing for the B squad and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and over here, again, first thing they do is go to the academy, and then maybe you get scouted when you're in college. Yeah. But you never see people. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nick. But you never see literally people grab a 12-year-old from a regular youth academy to something big, or have you?
That kid from Philadelphia Union is only 14. Didn't he just sign a contract with City or something?
Kevin Sullivan. Yeah, him. So the reason why you know his name and you know of him, besides the fact that he's an exceptional player, he's unbelievable, is because the talents are so far and few in between that the American media highlights a particular kid like that. So he has a deal to go to Manchester City in I think 3 years because he's 15 years old. He was 14 when he signed. He's going to be 15 now, and then he goes there. He's great, but he's also in what I think is probably the most successful developing academy like in the United States. Philly Union is unbelievable at what they do. They do a really good job at like holistically developing players, educating them as students and all that stuff. So he's already going to have a leg up just coming from there. Because if you look at the last two guys that made it out, Paxton and Brandon Aronson, right? One at Eintracht Frankfurt. One is at Leeds, right? I think Aronson's at Leeds.
Leeds.
So he was moving around and he ended up going to Leeds. Man, they do a great job of it, but I think what happens in these academies in America, again, it's such a business thing. They're thinking to themselves, who can I get to the first team so I can sell, so I can get money or whatever that is.
They did that with Pulisic.
Yeah, so it's like they're looking to do that so quickly that they revolve around one player, and one player's like kind of moving in the ranks and doing all that stuff instead of just making a really good squad. Like for example, I'll counter it with Porto, right? A couple of years ago, we won the youth league against Chelsea. You look at the team, I remember like drooling. Look at that team: Diogo Leite, Diogo Queiroz, Diogo Costa, Fabio Vieira,
Vitinha.
Yeah, Vitinha, Fabio Silva. All these guys amazing. I was like, Porto is set. And what did we keep? One of those guys? You know,
it's all, baby.
It's just crazy because then the business there was just different. Like they went to different Portuguese leagues, the Portuguese teams, all that stuff. But here it's more of finding the gem and everything around the gem.
Polish it.
Yeah, that's it. One guy, and that's what it is. The retention rate in an MLS academy, I don't have the exact number, but I could tell you it's very low. Very low. Every year they're like, we're obviously affiliated with the New York Red Bulls, and every year they pump out like almost an entire team except for a couple of players. And it's just a whole new team every year, which in essence, that is what an academy is, right? You're looking for the best players, the best teams. But it's tough because it's such a cutthroat thing that kids end up quitting because they can't deal with that high level pressure so young.
But also to that point, right? And I've been waiting to get into a good point to bring this up, right? You have a kid, he goes through all these academies, you spend all this fucking money, right? To finally get into the MLS, to finally become into the first team. What's your first contract look like?
Not good.
45,000, 60,000 a year, if that.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My brother-in-law had a contract. My brother was like 45 now, probably close to 50. He had a contract with the Metro Stars, right? 26,000 a year. Went to construction. What the fuck, bro? You know, how do we dump all this money back into the system, and then the system doesn't support the players going into it?
Again, it's the business. The guys that are sitting in the chairs making those deals make those deals so that their pockets can be a little bit more full. Unfortunately, that's what it is at that level. There's so many things behind the doors that we don't see.
And like you're thinking about Metro Stars, obviously back then it was a big deal. Now, obviously, I think they're in the second division. Maybe
The Metro Stars are the Red Bulls.
Are the Red Bulls?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking Cosmos.
Cosmos.
Yeah, Cosmos.
So I think that they don't exist anymore.
Okay.
They did go into a different league. They were kind of scouring for a little bit, but
Where Hartford plays?
Hartford plays UPSL
Hartford,
Championship.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so but that's the same thing in Portugal because
Yeah,
you think about it, you can't quote me on this but there is a graph of like teams in the Liga Portuguesa where they get paid a certain grade and obviously goes to the big three and stuff like that. But like that, if you don't have sponsors, you're pretty much fucked. Like think about Boa Vista. Boa Vista went, if I'm not mistaken, 12 games without paying their players, and that's when they had the drought last season, where they started like losing a lot of games in a row. They had to fire Petit and stuff like that. Mind you, Petit was doing great in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But they had to like cut down on a lot of shit because of the fact that they didn't have the money, and that's a lot of those teams in Portugal. You have teams like Casa Pia, where even today they have players that literally have a full-time job as a pedreiro or whatever it may be, and still go to work, still go play in at Casa Pia or like whatever other team it is. Most of those people, like especially like second, third division, or even even past that, they have a full-time job as whatever they do. They still go at like crack at night to like practice and maybe play a game or two throughout the week. You can't, unless you're in a high caliber of soccer, you're gonna get shit paid.
Yeah. But I think that's what makes soccer beautiful, right? I don't want to say it's the poor man's game, but it's like the world's game. And in essence, like most of the world is struggling and fighting and doing all those things. So I think a part of the dream of soccer is you got to grind. You got to figure it out. And if you want to make it to a level of like Mateus Nunes, you got to work at the bakery until you're being coached by Pep Guardiola. Like that's just a part of the game, you know.
That's what you look forward to.
Yeah, coach are being benched like Pep Guardiola,
and now transferred.
I mean,
Possibly.
And now to be sold.
And now, but think about it. Like he's been training with Foden, De Bruyne, Rodri. Like I'm sure he's had a good experience.
Oh, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
you know, but still, yeah, it's
Sucks.
you want to play and you
Yeah.
want to.
Then you get flops too. Like think about it. I could name a few.
Enzo Fernandez.
Fernandez.
There
Enzo
it is,
Fernandez,
baby.
Renato Sanchez, Fabio Silva, Fabio Vieira.
Well, I saw that Fabio Silva said that he basically was forced out of Porto to go to Wolves because I saw
Yes.
that.
He was.
It sucked because I bet if he stayed at Porto, I'm sure he would have developed a lot better to help the Porto and help.
This is what I'm talking about, bro. In these Portuguese teams, we need money.
I say
Hey, man.
time
Money
and time
going in,
again,
bro.
dude. Especially, and we're gonna get that in a little bit. But like, think about it. Porto is struggling right now. We're gonna get. I just have a question. So right now, your license. What is your license within coaching?
So I have my UEFA B license that I completed this past year in Germany. I have my USSFC, but with my UEFA B, I qualify for my B license here. But I am on a track to get my UEFA A license in Scotland next year.
And
So-
that
Nice.
will lend you to coach any like first teams.
So I can
like that?
coach any like second division, first teams, in anywhere in the world, except like the big 5 leagues. It's a little bit harder to get a job just with an A. The only license over it is a UEFA Pro, which is like UEFA top 5 leagues and any National League team. You need to get your pro.
Now, I got it. I'm just gonna speak freely right here. This you getting your license and stuff. Do you? I'm assuming you have to have some type of like coaching background to even like start with at the what's like the base like lowest license. Or
Yeah, you don't
whatever.
need anything.
No.
You could just take your first license for like $50 here in America.
Is that just the USSFC or is that the UEFA?
So it used to be called the USSFF, but now they call it the grassroots license.
Okay.
So to complete your grassroots license, the United States broke down their curriculum into 4 sections: 4v4, 7v7, 9v9, 11v11.
Okay.
If you take 2 of those courses,
Yeah.
let's say for example, 4v4 and 7v7,
Yeah.
you're eligible to coach any team from like U6 to like about U12.
Okay.
And you get your grassroots license. Then you can take the other 2 so that you can then qualify to get the D license, which is like the lowest license.
Okay.
So you have to go through
Yeah.
those.
Okay.
And it's very hard for you to skip unless you played internationally.
Gotcha.
And stuff like that because the United States wants you to pay for the license. They want money.
I think we should go get our license.
You
Start
guys
coaching.
can do
Fuck
it. Yeah, you guys can do
Dude,
it.
so we barely. I could only speak for myself, but I'm sure Joey's on the same route. We have so much going on now; it's
I know.
tough to go.
It is tough.
But like
There's a
you have,
balance.
obviously, coaching is, even though it is a full time for you, obviously you have another job and you have
Yep.
a family and stuff like that. How do you even? Obviously, a lot of people around us have more than one job, especially nowadays with everything going on. How do you manage everything? Like,
So I think the key word here is balance. So I become very intentional on how I spend my time. I have to divide it between my family, but like I even within my family have to have certain divisions because people will feel a certain way. Like obviously my wife is the most important factor because if she's not there to take care of the kids and all those things, like I can't get to do whatever it is. But I think what makes it a little bit easier on her is that like she bought into what I said and what she's seen and who she's spoken to. They're like give him a chance, let him do what he's got to do.
Yeah.
So it really helps that she buys in. And then when I talk about the kids part of it, it's like How do you as a father like go to your kids and you're like, follow your dreams, do what you want to do, reach for the stars, you know, like the cliche things that parents say, and I don't do it. You know what I mean? And I respect the hell out of the Portuguese men of the world, because these guys grinded their whole life. My grandfather, my father, they woke up just like you guys, and they grinded their whole life. So I think like knowing those things and finding the identity of like who you are as a person is important to balance the family. And then when I'm at work, like it is 5-6 hours of just undivided attention to making sure that I can get those things done. Especially this year, like I was working within the public school system up until last year. I won the national championship, and the Salvation Army, who runs as an affiliate of Ironbound, had a big dinner. So they're like, you know, bring the guys to the dinner, bring your team to the dinner. And my team has been together for a long time, so they're a bunch of clowns. So they had them be the guys that received the people and said hello. So they were doing the tunnels to like these big majors of the Salvation Army, and they ended up falling in love with our team. They gave me an award and all this stuff. And then the guy that's the director of Newark was like, I think you're a really good leader. He's a business guy. He's like, so why don't you come in and run our programs? And I was just like kind of thinking about it, and I was like, you know, I'm good at the school. I leave early. I have my summers. I do all that stuff. So I was like, I'm okay, whatever. And then he puts like an offer in front of me. I was like, shit, I guess I'm leaving this.
Sign me up, coach.
I was like, we're in America, money talks.
Sign me up, coach.
So, you know, I went and I made that decision for my family, and it allowed me to stay coaching, which was very important because it was within the Salvation Army. And then like right before practice, usually like Sundays, I get together with my staff. And again, like you'll see like an opposition report, because now everybody has video, right? So you can see everybody who plays, and they see us, and I kind of love it, because it's like, you know what I'm going to do, but I'm still going to do it kind of thing. Right. So, you know, like I have to take a lot of time, like more than people think, of planning my session and being very, very, very intentional on what we're doing. So like at the end of a practice, when we're doing an activity, whether it's numerically up in the midfield sector, or we're trying to overload the right side, or maybe we did a really bad job on finding diagonal runs, I spend a ton of time to make sure at the end of practice the light bulb goes off and players are like, oh, I got it. Right? It's kind of like educating their minds about the game. And that's why like this board is super important, because I teach tactical periodization. So the different zones, where we're going to be the most dangerous, where you can't lose the ball, where they know if they lose the ball that they're hearing me screaming from the sideline. And then when I'm at practice probably 4 times a week on the field for like 3.5 hours.
Wow.
You know?
Do you actually, since you brought up the board, do you want to show us more or less how you managed to like know where the danger zone, how to pick up maybe a play from the goalkeeper all the way to the forward?
Sure.
Do you mind giving us a?
Sure.
Joey, you want to hold his microphone as he explains it?
So the lines that you see on this board here, there's 20 zones of the pitch, right? So this is positional play that like Pep Guardiola really, really enforces, where you're going to find the most scoring chances. And I'm going to say my team's the blue team, because I like to have a 3-back.
Do you want, even if you want to get up?
You want me to get up?
Yeah, just that way everybody sees it.
Got it.
Sorry about that.
No faz mal. Estou acostumado. So I like to play the way the blue is. And
thanks, coach.
Most of the times that we play, teams are in a 4-3-3 with a double pivot, because a lot of people, again, like to kick and run. So this guy's fast as hell, this guy's fast as hell, this guy's fast as hell. So they're taking off, right? So the balance of my 3-back is making sure that they always stay the width of the 18 apart. And if one of them comes out, we have to be tactically disciplined to make sure either the 8 or the 6 is dropping in as the third, which whoever watched Germany-Scotland yesterday, Toni Kroos was playing left center back. Okay, just saying. And if that doesn't happen, right, which sometimes this guy's in La La Land because he thinks he's the creator of everything. This guy has to tuck in, this guy has to tuck in, that guy has to go there, right? The most goal-scoring opportunities are in these zones here. This is called the half space, right? Or we call it zone 14. So these guys here, my magnet's a little gangster, but so these guys here, the 10 and the 7, who can play wide, whatever, we'll go here, who can play wide. If one is in here, that means the other one's out here, because this guy's going to make that second post run. This guy's going to be in this zone here, and the striker has to be the one who has a little bit of creative freedom. right? I don't. The person I give the least amount of instruction to is my striker. Number one, they're sensitive. All of you, all of you. And so the work is really going to be done by these two guys here, which is also why I think the blue is the shape that Portugal should play in my opinion, because I think we finally have the team for it. But regardless, so if you're asking about where the most chances are created, it's in these zones right here. This is what we call the half space. So the half space is where you're going to find guys making runs there, but the creation of these zones is the most important, right? If we lose a ball here, that is, like, for me, deadly. This is where play has to be creative, short, smart, safe, and then you take a risk when you're getting into that zone. Because if I lose the ball here, it's okay because I have a lot of guys behind. But if I lose the ball here, I have guys going 60, 70 yards to try to recover this guy's mistake in our half or in our midfield third.
So now you have your wingers drop back and press,
Yes. Yeah.
or you would have your midfielders press up.
So,
In case of like a counterattack or
do we have
something
something
like
I
that.
can wipe this with?
Maybe this will work.
So it's good that you asked that because that's the first thing that the players ask, right?
Roberto Martinez, take notes, all right?
That's what the players ask a lot. So this right here is your success. This M. I call this the money shape, right? Because if these 5 guys stay in their shape, even when we're holding the half line, we're going to be safe. Even if there's a winger wide, we don't need to worry about this winger unless the ball comes to that side of the field. If the ball's here, we'll stay from here over because this guy's not dangerous. The most dangerous guy is the guy with the ball, right? So we need to pressure cover balance. That's what we work on a ton. So one guy pressures, so he'll come here. This guy will take his space, and this guy balances us out here. Just in case he's trying to look for that ball, we have a ton of guys. We win it, this guy gets wide, we switch, we attack the other way. Yeah. So I typically like for my central guys to be the ones that stay because these guys, after about 40 minutes of going up and down like Cavallos,
They're shot. They're shot. So now, in that case, you would have the wingers drop back, and then you have your wing backs cover the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
These guys there. So, yeah, I mean, it takes time, and guys have to buy in, but then there's other teams that you have that in the 4-3-3, it works beautifully, right? Where the fullbacks come up the pitch, the center backs are going to come into these zones here. The 6 is comfortable with dropping. And I talk about staggering 6s a lot because when this 6 comes and this 8 comes higher, the 10 can kind of freely roam with the 9. And the team that comes and tries to press here will most of the time not worry about the 8 because the 8's coming into a different space. So he's not in where the ball is. So this guy has 2 options. Either he's going to third man run the 8 where he hits the 2 and then comes out from the right back to here, or he can directly hit the 8 and then we're off to the races. So staggering the 6 and the 8 is the most important thing for me on the build-up.
I just got coached. That's complete. It's different. Like obviously, we all have the place in our heads, but see it on the board, it's completely outstanding, and that's a good point of view.
I just had the picture of Pep Guardiola. Shut up! Sit down! Shut up! Drink water! Drink water! Don't make no faces. Please, guys. Please, don't make face.
So you want to know what's funny? So I watch the documentaries. Obviously, I'm obsessed. So I watch it like you guys. The direction that he's giving to those guys, it's a different level. I'm not comparing our teams to that. It's not that different. Yeah. What he's saying is not that different, and it brings me to say, like, at higher levels, the talent margin is so little. It's really about the decisions and the mentality and the discipline, right? Especially in Newark, you see guys with talent that should have been somewhere, could have been somewhere, but they just get distracted by whatever it is, like little dumb things that maybe even we get distracted by, but we're not on that road to that professionalism. Right.
Especially nowadays, there's so many temptations and stuff, and that's why you said like you got your program by giving so many opportunities of these kids, obviously instead of being on the street. Yeah, and again, there's a lot of I can only speak from what I know, like. Newark obviously has its fair share of reputation, and like I'm sure other towns nearby have the same reputation itself. Yeah. So having the opportunities of these kids from obviously you said U6 to like
Yeah,
high school,
Ironbound
so-
has the developmental program, which goes from 3 to 12, and that's the first kind of steps. Babies coming in playing, and then up to 12, where they teach them like 5v5, which is super important. And then they have the regular travel, which is like U8 to U13, which goes up to U18, but like that's really where you are. And then we just got into MLS Next, so the U14 team that I coach. So I coach the U14 MLS Next team, so we play against Philly Union, DC United, New York Red Bulls, and then all the other MLSs in the Mid-Atlantic. And then I coach the USL2 team, which is men's open. It's semi-pro. So that's the league I'm in right now, coaching. It's if you start at 3 years old at Ironbound, theoretically saying you can become a semi-pro in 12, 13 years. You can play semi-pro, and then hopefully you're moving on into a different level.
So on that topic, right? Because Tyler Adams came through Ironbound, right?
He had a brief stint here. Yes.
I don't know if there's anybody else that's made it.
John Tolkien.
I was gonna say.
John Tolkien was here for a lot longer. He really played it at Ironbound.
So you have two. So like, I don't know, I guess it's like a marketing thing. Be like, yo, listen, we've had two people like Tyler Adams that's playing. Is that Nottingham now?
I thought he was at Bournemouth. Yeah.
Okay, no, not now.
Yeah.
Now he's at. Right.
No, he was only loaned out. I think he went back to Leicester.
He was never at Leicester.
Was it
Leeds.
Leeds. Sorry, yeah, Leeds.
I'll do
Well,
research.
Leeds now was just purchased by Red Bull. You guys saw that?
No.
The Red Bull conglomerate. Yeah. So he's essentially going to be in
That's actually a
that.
question that I wanted to ask as well. So obviously, you're probably because you've coached Red Bull as well.
Yeah.
The youth teams.
Youth training programs and the RDS, which is like the step before they get into the academy.
Right. So now, in case of the Red Bull franchise itself, because you got Salzburg, Leipzig, and New York Red Bull.
And you
Is
have
there?
Brazil.
And you have the one in Brazil. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and there's one more.
Isn't there one in Australia?
There's one in Australia, but there's also one in Asia. I'm forgetting the name.
Burnsmith.
So now, do you have? Because I know the Leipzig loaned out a player to the New York Red Bull franchise. I forgot his name now.
The one that didn't tell his wife.
Emil Forsberg?
Yeah,
They didn't loan. That was a transfer.
It was a transfer.
Yeah.
Now because it's a franchise, do they still have to pay a certain amount, or how does it work?
Exactly for his Man City fucking family people.
Shut up.
How they buy fucking guys.
Yeah.
115 charges and
Then they
just-
fucking loan them out.
115 charges. Blah 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 blah.
So I'm not 100% sure on it, but the way I see it and the way it seems to me is they're buying a player from their own ownership group. So
It's money going to money.
they're kind of just doing a Western Union loan transfer. Yo guys, we have some money here. You guys can take this.
It's like the Nigerian scams and stuff like that.
So I mean, this is a perfect example. Is Frank Lampard, right? I don't know if you guys remember Frank Lampard, obviously West Ham product, Chelsea legend. Goes to NYCFC, but technically everyone's like, oh, the MLS bought him. And
Goes to
and
City
MLS was
first.
like-
No.
MLS was like, wait a second, we didn't buy him. He's owned by City Football Group, and then they loan him to Man City.
Yeah.
Right? It was they could have put him at the team that's somewhere else, Melbourne City. It's their group, so it's a little bit tricky when it comes to that. Which is why even now Manchester United and Nice in France have the same ownership group, and both are in the Europa League. So they're trying to make a case where it's like, oh no, we can both play in the Europa League. We're not gonna, it's tough.
Gotta help each other.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like the whole thing with like City and that team in La Liga. What's it? Girona?
Girona.
They can't play. They can't play in the Champions
They
League.
both can't play in the Champions League.
Yeah.
116 charges.
So how you're gonna do it?
What are you gonna do?
It's messed up because that's Pep's brother.
Is it really?
That's his brother. His brother's a director there.
No
Wow.
kidding.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
116 charges now.
Keep counting, Joey.
I love how you guys keep reminding him.
No, because
116.
Joey just seriously hates Man City.
I live with a City fan.
Who do you hate more, City or Liverpool? You're a United fan.
Honestly,
For Joey, it's City.
honestly speaking, I would have been in a worse mood if Liverpool would have won the title than City.
That's right.
Why though?
But he hates City more.
No, they're good. Yeah.
No, because
The fuck? I
They're-
haven't won one trophy.
they're three.
You're a Liverpool fan?
No, he's a
Spurs.
Spurs. They're 3 away from hitting our record.
He's used to not
There's
having
no
trophies.
Liverpool's three away from hitting our record.
Oh,
with
you want the
titles.
record?
All right, so top 3 teams that you hate as a Man United fan.
As a Man United fan,
Yeah.
Liverpool,
116 charges.
City,
Leeds.
and Leeds.
I hate Leeds.
See, I keep seeing that shit.
No, because
Like-
it's from the 2000s, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's from
could you guys explain it? Because I didn't
Eric
watch.
Cantona.
Eric.
Eric Cantona. Eric,
You wanna go- you
people-
wanna explain it a
People
little
don't remember
bit?
that Leeds came second a couple times in the early 90s. They went to Champions League finals. You know, Leeds was a big team in the 90s. And even in the early 2000s before they got relegated.
Yeah.
You know, Ferdinand. We bought Ferdinand from
Ferdinand
Leeds.
from Leeds, yeah.
Dude, I was watching. It was a TikTok, and they were asking the same question I asked you. It was the same thing, and everybody was like Liverpool, Leeds.
Actually, you know what?
Man
I wouldn't
City.
even throw you guys in there. I would throw Liverpool, Arsenal, and then Leeds.
Yeah, I was gonna say
you would be
Arsenal.
fourth.
Fuck Arsenal. Fuck the
So
Gunners.
stop bringing up the charges.
He's scared.
He's scared.
I'm not
Yeah,
scared.
right.
Like for me, dude,
150 charges?
I
No,
don't
we're
make that
going
money.
to sue you first.
I don't make their money, so I'm chilling. It's a walking
Yeah, but
apart
you'd
for
be-
me,
but You'd be
dude.
upset to see them get relegated.
Would I?
Yeah.
Would I?
You would.
No, he became a
Would
fan when
I?
they're in the second division. Remember, he
That-
says this all the time.
my
I've been a fan
Dude, I
since
was
they came
a
here,
fan
like
since
2008.
2008. Since 2008, you could go back to any video. I say 2008 every single time. All right, so before we start our next segment, we're gonna play a little game. We did a music game, find the name or the lyric, or a couple weeks back, and now we're gonna do one, but it's a little different. Obviously, we've been in the category of soccer, so we're gonna do one. I ended up my partner's Chat GPT, or as the Portuguese call, o Chato GPT. We're gonna do Portuguese League, obviously the Euro, and the Premier League. I feel like that's the ones we watch most. So obviously I'm not gonna play because I know the answers for it. So it's gonna be
hope you know the
between the three of you, and we're gonna go from there. So just. I'm not going to tell you which category it's going to be. Just go for it. All right, let's start. Which team holds the record for most Premier League titles?
United.
How many?
32.
31? No, 27.
He doesn't know the
Correct. No, without Premier League, not with
Oh,
before
13.
13.
Yeah, I was
Good
gonna
job.
say.
And then like that was League One. We had
No, because you had different ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, 13. Look at Joey go.
Oh, Johnny, you're a real fan.
All right, let's do this one. Which team was the first team in the Liga Portuguesa after the inception of 1934? So I'll read it again because I read it incorrectly. Which team was the first team to win the Liga Portuguesa title after its inception in 1934?
I want to say that it was Benfica, but it could be the trap where Belenenses just won title. But I thought that was in the 60s, so I'm going to say it was Benfica.
It was Porto.
Porto?
Yeah, Porto. FC Porto was the first team to win Liga Portuguesa.
So Salazar, so Benfica would have been my guess too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm going to say Boavista.
So I'm gonna go with this one. Who is the youngest player to score a goal in the Liga Portuguesa? This is recent too.
João Neves?
No.
It's the kid from Braga. I'm trying to remember his name.
No, it was Renato Sanchez.
Is it?
Yeah. 18 years, 338 days.
Wow.
I thought I had it
Maybe
there.
the kid from Braga was in the Tasca. He scored against Porto. The kid was like 17.
Which country has won the most UEFA European Championship titles?
Which country has won the most UEFA?
Spain.
I think
There's two. I'll give you that.
France?
Spain is one of them.
Italy.
No. Germany. Yes. Germany and Spain have both won 3. Now, here's another one. Let me see. Which country has the most appearances in European Championship finals without ever winning the tournament?
without ever winning.
Without ever winning.
France.
They won the Euros.
No, they won the Euros already. And it's not Portugal.
They still haven't won.
They haven't won yet.
England.
Croatia.
No.
It's not England. England?
No. the most appearances. They've been in the final. They just never won it. I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2.
Denmark?
Nope.
Switzerland.
1. The Netherlands. They-
I thought they won one.
No.
They didn't win one?
I was gonna say Belgium.
I was Bulgaria.
They've been 3 times. It was in 76, 88, and 2000. They went to the final. They never won it.
I thought they won in 88.
That's trash.
Again,
I thought Netherlands, but I'm like, they won one.
Yeah, I was like, I won.
See,
They didn't win one with fucking Hullet? The fuck?
yeah. All right, let's do 2 more. Which player holds the record for most goals scored in a single Premier League season?
Holland.
Harry Kane.
Roy Keane.
Mo Salah.
No, it's
It's 34 goals.
34.
I
Ronaldo.
want to say Thierry Henry.
No.
Ronaldo.
No, it's not real.
You guys give up?
Alan Shearer.
Ding 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 ding.
Man, he's a beast.
What team did you play for?
Blackburn.
Yep. You know the season?
2006.
He was right off when Premier League started.
19.
So
that was
93?
He was 94 and 95.
Ah, look at you,
Yeah.
Joey. Look at you.
Because the exception was 92, 93.
Yep.
Or 91.
I'll give one. So I'll give one for Marco to get it right.
Who won last year?
Actually,
What year was Shaw's relegated?
2024.
let's see. Who is the all-time top scorer in UEFA European Championship history?
Closer.
No, it's Cristiano Ronaldo.
No.
What is it?
Wait for what?
Which one?
European Championship.
European.
I'll give you the number. It's 9 goals.
The fuck?
Ronaldo definitely has more than 9 goals in Europe
real.
competition. It's fucking
Again, there's ChatGPT.
No, in one competition in itself.
Yeah.
Harry Kane.
No.
Benzema.
What? Just give us the year.
He doesn't show the year.
Harry Kane.
But he was.
Benzema.
I'll give you. He's French.
Benzema. Mbappe.
Giroud?
Is it Drew? No.
Giroud.
Platini.
Platini.
How the fuck was I supposed to get that? I'm gonna say one so Marco gets it. Platini. Okay, yeah.
Okay. I'll give you one easier now.
Boavista.
Just so you could get one right, because it's kind of embarrassing that you
I got one right. I got Spain and Germany right, you fuck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, yeah,
Fucking
right.
banana.
Sorry. Who has the most goals in Portugal? Liga Portuguesa.
Jardel.
No.
Right now?
Overall,
All time.
all
I
time.
thought it was Jardel. Could have thought it was Jardel. Oh no, it was it's on the tip of my tongue.
It's an old timer, right?
It's
Yeah.
an all timer.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
I'll give you another hint for all of you.
No. I know it.
He's in he's in the Cinco Violinos, Fernando Piroteo.
So that see that green grate over there? That's how I got it.
All right, I think that if you guys want to play one more, I could give you one more.
One more. Give me one
All right. This one is easy. Which country has hosted European Championship most times?
Germany.
No.
England?
No.
France.
France.
That was me on next guess.
France. They did 3 occasions, which was 1960, 1984, and 2016,
Bitches.
where Portugal took it. Also, did you know, like, the last time Man United won the FA Cup, Real Madrid won the Champions League, and obviously Portugal won the Euro. So maybe we could do a recap,
2016. Yeah.
and we get to
Ooh.
win this one. Speaking of this one, now we could jump onto our second half of the episode.
Very high tech over
Let's
here.
go.
Sorry. So obviously today, we have the 3 big ones here. Starting with Porto, Nick, Joey with Benfica, and then obviously Marco and I with Sporting. So basically what I'm trying to get is we're going to talk about Porto a little bit because we normally don't really talk about them. What's your perspective on the
Nobody
whole
here to defend them.
André Villas-Boas novella within overall? What's your perspective on him coming in as a president and Pinto Costa coming out?
I mean, it's hard to see Pinto da Costa go the way he did, right? Because when you think about all-time presidents and successes and all that stuff, this man gave everything for the club. But I do think that similar to a lot of situations in soccer, that the game changes and modernizes, and there's certain things that you have to do. And Joey touched on it earlier, everybody's going to those clubs for soccer, but there's other modalidades, there's other things. And Porto's so behind the 8 ball that it was time for a change, and I do think Villas-Boas, who understands the fabric and the identity of the club, is the right man to go in. I always kind of thought it was going to be Vitor Bahia just because I didn't think somebody would come in and challenge Pinto da Costa and beat them the way he did. But I think he's exactly what Porto needs right now for the simple fact that the man knows football, you know what I mean? He was a scout. He was a junior scout, a chief scout. He was in Porto. He won Premier Leagues as an analyst.
He won the Europa League.
He won the Europa League with Porto. He coached Zenit, worked under Mourinho, did all these things. He knows football. So I even think Zubizarreta, the guy that they're bringing in as the sporting director, is a breath of fresh air because you said also before, Porto's lately has been struggling. And the struggle started, I'm going to tell you about 2015.
Oh, I agree.
2015. And that was the loss of the football sporting director, Antero Henrique, when he went to PSG. When we lost him, we lost all of our really good scouting, all of our really good deals. Our SAD is not great, right? Just look at the deals that we weren't able to complete or capitalize on. I'll just go through a few. Marega, Abubakar, Brahimi. I mean, man, we did not re-sign or do anything with these guys. Yeah. Same thing with Taremi. So obviously there's a disconnect, right? And I think, similar to life, what happened to Porto is complacency and comfort will rot you from the inside. And I think Porto started rotting when they lost that guy that was doing all the work, and Pinto da Costa thought it was just, we'll just hire this guy and it's all good. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. Sergio Conceição, utmost respect for him. As a kid, I remember, wearing the number 11 for 2 reasons. My father and Sergio Conceição, right? Loved him. But I can also say as a coach that I cannot tell you Porto's style of play besides just being gritty, nasty,
raça
as fuck.
Okay, raça.
Yeah.
There's no style where
there's no structure
where it looks good or that was on purpose or this or that. Now, did he do a great job with what he did? Yes. For the resources he's had, which were very limited, my man has been unbelievable. I'm forever grateful for the 11 championships or trophies that he's won us. But if we're looking at the way Portuguese soccer is modernizing with the likes of Ruben Amorim, who's probably one of the best young coaches in the world, and Sporting's playing a beautiful brand of soccer. Yeah. Man, innovative, 3-back, 3-4-3. They're doing all these great things. So for me, Villas-Boas had to come in. Do I think that his legacy in the beginning will be tough? Yes, because everything he's going to do is going to be the discounted the version and controversial and this and that. For example, Sergio Conceição, if I'm not mistaken, was making 6 million or 7 million euros a year. Vitor Bruno's not even making 1. So now, does he know the same system? Does he know whatever? Does he have the players' respect? Absolutely. What is he going to do that I think is going to make him successful? He's going to go and bring the youth players in. He's going to go into the system and get these guys.
He's going to do what Sporting and Benfica are doing.
And they have to. And guess what? That needs to be a part of Portuguese identity, right? Porto, for the longest time, was really good at, and what I say joking around to people and the 1 million group chats I'm in is we save the Colombians. We go save Colombians. Luis Diaz, who is he? Trinca Espinhas, bro. Comes to us and then goes to Liverpool.
I've always found great South American players.
Yeah, absolutely. So why are we not giving these chances to these younger Portuguese guys and figuring it out? I watched the youth system. I was in Cascais in April in the Iber Cup with my Ironbound U14s, and I saw Porto was in the final of the U8, U9, U10, the younger guys. What happens to those kids? What,
You never hear of them.
And they were dirty. They played against Roma, Milans, and all these guys, and they were really good. So I am happy with the breath of fresh air. I do know that there is controversy behind the scenes, and we don't know the deals that go on, and we don't know the money situations. But it was time for a change, and I'm excited to see Porto get female soccer and different sports.
Yeah, because you guys don't modalidades-wise, you guys are probably the shortest one.
100%
out of the three.
100%. Like when I put on futsal and I'm watching Sporting Benfica, they are amazing atmospheres, amazing games. The seleção is Sporting Benfica, Sporting Benfica, Braga, Sporting. It's like everybody's on those teams, and they're amazing. So it will be exciting to see. And again, it's also to bring the Portuguese soccer in general up. Like in that sense, we do have to work together, right?
Yeah. Well, think about it. Even the women's soccer, now we have, this year, we're going to have Sporting and Benfica in the Women's Champions League and stuff like that. So it's becoming more, because you start seeing that too, like female-wise.
Yep.
They're coming to Portugal to play soccer, and obviously the three big teams in women's soccer in Portugal, it's Braga, Benfica, Sporting.
Yep.
It's time to have Porto in there as well. I believe Porto could have the structure to create a women's soccer team,
Yeah.
where they will lead to on the
success,
competitive
yeah.
aspect. Now, and this is going to touch a bone for you because you're a Man United fan as well. Who has the roughest structure right now, Man United or Porto?
I would say Porto. Man United's kind of on a decent track, trying to go back.
Yeah.
With a new ownership and then with a new manager.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were going to keep Den Haag.
Oh, well, yeah, but he's still new. He's only been there for a year.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of the bald guy, right? Because
2 years.
he makes really strange decisions at really late stages of games. But at least there's a new entity into the club. Porto is now starting that journey. At least my opinion on it.
Yeah, I think Porto's in a massive rebuild. I think the dominance that you saw from like even the early 2010s to 2013s with the Hulks and the Falcon and the Freddie Guarin and Jackson Martinez, I don't think you're going to see that for a little bit. In a sense, it's good because I think Portuguese soccer's catching up. There's a little bit of a leveling out, but I think Man United is in a little bit of a better position. The only argument I have against that is Man United is going against some of the biggest, best competition in Europe, right? So Porto, not that they're not, but like when we talk about Champions League now, we're not looking at Porto and saying like, oh, they're a favorite or anything like that. Manchester United is going against these brands. It's a different pot,
Right.
Yeah.
But Porto's definitely in a rougher situation.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you touched the line with like Ruben Amorim. Like Marco and I could relate. It's obviously Sporting was in the ditch where, to be honest, I didn't even see it getting out of that ditch so fast as we did.
Mm-hmm.
Like with obviously the whole Alvalade incident and stuff like that. And I'm afraid to lose Amorim because realistically, the structure in between Varandas, Ukviana, Amorim, it became so. The chemistry in between the three of them, I think, is a big part of why Sporting has risen the way they have.
Yeah.
But main purpose is like Amorim. Like it was nice the partnership Hugo Viana and him have within like scouting, try to get players. He's involved of talking to the players, making sure they stay or whatever they choose to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a big asset. And like I'm speaking as a fan point of view and not the SAD itself, but if that man leaves, I feel like it might crumble down.
Yeah.
And hopefully, like Ukviana and Varandas could have someone come in as in, hey, this is the project we were working with. This is the project we want to continue. Let's work it out.
I mean, I think a perfect example of that is simply, let's go back to the period where Ruben Amorim coached, 8 games for Braga or 10 games for Braga?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Braga, in their own Minhoto way, goes to Sporting. se dás 10 milhões, pode ser o Ruben Amorim. And Sporting calls their bluff, pays them the 10 million, and Braga goes, we got 10 million, and his assistant who's been with him everywhere, Custodio's going to be fine. And Custodio loses the next 7-8 games, right? Yeah. There's a difference in the buy-in, and I think the toughest job in the world is to be somebody's assistant, because you have to tiptoe the line of keeping them in check, but making sure that they know you believe in them. Right, so I'm sure Custodio was great because Ruben Amorim was just up and coming, so he probably involved him in a lot of decisions, which maybe even gave Custodio like that confidence, like I'm going to be fine taking over this team. But the moment Amorim left, Braga struggled to regain that same kind of form, whereas Sporting took off. Yeah. So I do agree. Like I think Amorim in this particular case is a key piece, and I think that he is the nucleus of Sporting. So Varandas and Hugo Viana make him the focal point. And if you look at the Portuguese teams that have had success in our recent generation, like in Porto when Mourinho was there, Mourinho was the one calling the shots, right? And they went around him, and he went and decided to go get these second division players like from Leiria because he had a good season with them. He's going to get Bozinguas and Nuno Valente and
Ricardo Carvalho came from Leiria.
Yeah, and Elton. Like who's Elton? He went to be a Porto legend goalkeeper. You know what I mean? So, Ruben Amorim is pivotal to that. But I also think
talk about it. Diamant. He did that shit with Mafra.
He went to go get a Benfica fucking dropout that couldn't hang in Deco.
He was in Salgueiros, right? Or Alverca. He was chilling in some team.
Nuno Santos, no one really knew him.
Nuno Santos, even when he like comes in and like invents and puts like an Asugu in or something, I'm like, who is this guy? And they go and like he has his unbelievable games, Miguel Reis and Mateus Reis. And all, I'm just like, whoever Sporting is plugging in is understanding what he's doing. So I just think he's really good at educating them, and Sporting's just disciplined.
Yeah, now,
you know, right now with Ruben Amorim, absolutely.
Like, I mean, it's speaking for itself. And again, I say it time and time again. Domestic championships, I think we could hang in there, and I think now because we do have, again, we're playing catch up, and I think that's what you guys are going to be doing as a Porto point of view. We're doing a lot of catch up, as in dropping players. We had to unfortunately sell a lot of players like Nuno Mendes. You had Bruno Fernandes at the time, Rafinha, like everybody. If you hear about it, like we sold Rafinha, so we want to have to sell Bruno Fernandes, and we're still struggling enough where half of the season we had to sell Bruno Fernandes to Man United for, to be honest, a low budget.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
As a low budget, I think. But
the same thing with Palhinha. I mean,
but like same thing with Palhinha. Like Palhinha, we had one offer, and then the following season, even though we won the championship, the following season we didn't win the championship. He still went to Fulham for pocket change.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It was a lot of catching up, and only this year, not this past season, the one before, that's when we were like, all right, we're good now. We sell one player. Two main players, which was Charmiti to Everton and then Ugarte to PSG. And now we use the money from Ugarte to buy Gyökeres, Yulman. We bought that kid from Barcelona, Fresneda. Sorry, it's hard to pronounce because he never fucking plays. But like we have those players, but like we used one pay. You know what I mean? So we were able to finally catch up, and now we're able to use that money source and everything. Mind you, I know we're going to sell. We always have to sell. But in this case, for Porto, you guys necessarily can't even sell. Well, you can sell, you can't really buy. So off air, Joey was talking about it. I think even this, what was it? You said like you're going to have to play kids from the Academia, or you're going to have to re-sign players that you have now and stuff like that.
But even Porto, right, in the last 10, 15 years, who have you sold for decent money? You don't even tell me Luis Diaz because you sold him for fucking pennies.
Yeah, he didn't go for much. He didn't go for much.
What do you want, 65?
No, 65. He would have fucking been happy and big and shit. 65.
I think it was 45.
I don't even think it hit 35, bro.
No. Yeah, maybe.
It's Liverpool, bro. Liverpool ain't paying that much money for any
that's
player.
true.
Look that shit up.
They might
When
get
you think
in
about it, bro. You think
they're
about
interested in Nasser
all
for
your big
35,
players
so-
that have left, like Jackson Martinez, Hulk, Kurajma, all these big names. They didn't leave for much money.
No.
Oh, you can't.
Whereas
That's a different time.
Whereas
too.
transversely, the guys that were leaving before were going for loads of money.
Yep.
Before, in those early 2000s, we were letting guys go, but recently, the team with the best sales has undoubtedly been Benfica.
Well, we're in a position we kind
that's
of
the brand.
we don't need to sell.
That's the brand itself.
We don't need to sell. It's like the Enzo situation. We didn't want to fucking sell Enzo, but if that's his release clause, you hit it. Like
Same,
Deus, bro.
same shit with Sean Felix.
Like Deus. We
When,
didn't want
when
to
in
sell him.
hell did you think people were going to play the cause of 120 million?
Well, that's why it was so high, because we didn't want to get rid of him.
But that's what I'm
But
saying.
if you're willing to pay the money, Michael Deus.
It'll be the same shit with like João Neves. Watch,
close.
I already
In the
know this, dude. João Neves is gonna have a great freaking Euro,
He's gonna be. He's gone.
and he's gonna
this
go
summer.
gonna be gone this summer for like
You know what's
150
crazy?
million.
I'm a United
Dude.
fan. We're a United fan. I don't want him at United. We ruin players.
That's right, baby.
We fucking ruin players. We get fucking.
You said it.
We get big name stars to come in and they don't fucking do jack shit, bro.
So what do you think? United's definitely selling Greenwood.
Yes.
Yeah.
For 40 mil, what the fuck?
And it's not even playing style. It's for the look of the brand.
Are you guys gonna sell Rashford, or are you guys gonna try
I
to
will.
polish that one again?
I would sell him.
I wouldn't, because he's an academy player and he's been there since he was 15.
You know what was the biggest mistake? You guys selling Fred.
No, you know what the biggest mistake is offering him a fucking contract at $350,000 a week.
Well,
That was the biggest mistake.
Peseta.
And he became the highest earner of the club. That was the biggest mistake. Right? 'Cause it's like all these other players. They finally get that big fucking deal,
Fuck him.
and 33 goals last year to 6 this year. You know?
So, I didn't write this down, but I actually want to ask this. Obviously, with Pinta Costa, Conceição had re-signed it, and so did his son, and so did Pep. Do you think Villas-Boas will try to... Because now, technically, he cut off all those contracts from Pinta Costa. Obviously, fired Conceição.
It's mutual. I know it's mutual. It's between the two.
Yeah, Chico Conceição has now I believe it's July. His contract ends.
July 15th, he has a release clause of $30 million.
Right. You actually think people are going to pay that? They're going to wait it out.
Oh,
and
they're talking. Bayern and this and that.
I heard Bayern is interested. Yeah.
Looking at the inflation of today's market, it really depends on the team. Do you want a guy that, like, even with Porto, is he a guy that starts and plays that much, or is he a guy that's like a firecracker off the bench? It really is going to depend on the coach, right? He went to Ajax and people thought that he was going to play.
Nope.
And he didn't break in. He didn't break in. I also think he's a typical guy that's like comfortable in Portugal, living in his country with his dad. So he probably trains really hard. And at Ajax, he's probably like,
Slacker. Slacker. And that happens all the time. You see floppers coming out of Portugal as great players and then go out to other teams. Adrian Silva, João Felix. João Felix.
I also think it's what you just to say too is the environment and the coach. You put a Felix with the creativity mind, right? With not a disciplined asshole like fucking Diego Simeone, I think he would have fucking came out all right.
Yeah.
Same thing with Renato, going into a Bayern team that's fucking stacked in the fucking midfield that you're not gonna fucking play.
Again, but that's the issue with, again, obviously you have the release clause. Renato
didn't even have a release clause. It
was 35 million. I think it was 35 mil.
And back
But
then, we
like,
were like, holy shit.
Yeah, but fuck. But you have a player that, was carried at Benfica because everything era menino de ouro. You literally get picked up. You'd get a fall, automatically yellow penalty, whatever the fuck it was. And it's true because that dude was carried by the freaking refs.
Which one are we talking about?
Not Sanchez.
Please. João, please.
Dude, eu dava-lhe assim uma palmada levezinho, falta, automatically. And you know that's true.
Man, you got a European championship because of him. He was instrumental in that fucking European.
I'm not talking about the European. I'm talking about
his
Portuguese league. That's what I'm talking about. He was like, But now you go to Bayern, you actually think you're going to be carried away, and that's what I'm trying to make a point. He's a good player. Well,
you're talking about an 18-year-old kid going into a lineup that has Thiago Alcantara, that has Kimmich, that has Thomas Mueller, that has Llorentes, that has all these fucking. First of all, that should have been he should have never went there. He's never getting into that fucking team. But that's the point
I'm trying to make. Same thing is going to happen to João Neves. He will probably have the same outcome.
No, it depends on the team that he goes to, bro. See, but I think João Neves going to a Diego Simeone would be fucking elite.
Yeah.
Because he's very disciplined.
Put him in Italy.
What makes him special is his positioning and his just intelligence of the game.
Oh, he's always in the right spot.
Yeah. When I went to the Iber Cup in Cascais, I caught Benfica Chaves at the Luge, and I just watched him. He was disgusting.
Dude, I watched Benfica games before that kid because, like, I say it all the time. We have a chat, sporting things, and literally we, I think that's what it's called. Yeah. And then we literally go, fuck. If we wanted a player, it would be João Neves. Like, João Neves is a phenomenal player for how short he is and stuff like that. Like, he has it all. Personally,
I'd get Chico too.
Oh, I wouldn't mind Chico.
Chico's a dog, bro.
That's why I want him.
Chico's a dog.
Well, it's just like his father.
It reminds me of his fucking pops, and I had a Portugal number 11 jersey too.
Yeah.
He was my guy.
It's actually my favorite number too.
Yeah.
So now, let's talk about the Euros. Obviously, we just started. We're pre-recording this, but it just started yesterday. Germany won against Scotland, but that's nothing new. Germany looks good, but again,
what do you think of the new rules this year?
I'm a fan.
It's the offside.
Yeah, the semi-VAR, right?
Semi-VAR.
The no approaching of the referee unless you're a captain or unless you're instructed, because the goalkeeper is one of the captains. It's automatic yellow. You can't come up to the ref. It's the 26-man squad, and then there's one more.
It's the minutes for extra time.
Extra time.
So
less than
because the World Cup they added the minutes that were they were down, not playing, whatever, and now they're cutting that out. It's just going to be 2 minutes, dude.
Yeah, the VAR. We can start with that one. It's tough, right? Because I know that Arsene Wenger proposed a rule where if there's a part of your body that's offside that you can't score with, are you really offside, right? So, like, if the offside line is here and I'm going like this, I can't score with my hand unless I'm Diego Maradona. I can't score with my hand. So,
or if you're Messi.
Like, am I really off? I don't know. Like, I as a coach, I don't look at the rules too much. I can't referee. I'm not a very big fan. Because when I'm there watching the game, I look off the ball and I'm not like paying attention. I'm guilty of it at practice all the time. They're like, "Coach, you fouled me," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, I was watching his run. My bad." But I do think that the VAR helps just with a little bit of accuracy, even though VAR has been so subjective in the, especially in the Portuguese league and the Prem. The Prem has been crazy. But I do think it gives you a little bit of certainty, right? Like if you have that line. Okay, it shows you. For me, that's what it is. The whole referee thing, I don't agree with because I feel like it comes down to humanism, right? Soccer's about emotions. If I have to sit there and not go up to you because you're going to be a baby and give me a yellow card, like that to me is ridiculous. Yeah, it's about soccer's emotions. It's you're human. You're going to talk to them about something. If you don't want somebody to come and complain to you, I say this weekly at games, make the right decision, make the right call, or at least justify it to me when I ask you, right? Because a lot of times in the heat of the moment, it's hard for a referee to explain or an official to explain to you,
especially when you have
what it is.
20
and I'm
people
just like,
around
I
you.
want to see what you saw because I did not see that.
Yeah.
I saw something completely different. And if you say something that I'm comfortable with, then I'm going to leave you alone and I'm going to leave it at that. There has to be a professionalism. Now, if somebody goes overboard, right, and uses one of those banned words or whatever, like that's fine. You want to give them a card, they hit you. But come on now.
So are you a fan now with how the Portuguese league's doing it with when they go to VAR and they do the NFL shit where they foul on the 10-yard line, penalty in the box?
Absolutely not. I hate it. That's ridiculous.
It takes more time off. That's what I said to them. And it takes more time out of the game.
Yeah.
Just call a foul.
Yeah.
I would rather have. Don't get me wrong. I'm a 50-50 on that. I would just rather have the instant replay of the VAR
Live.
Like you have the
big screens.
The big screens. Just have the instant replay as you're visualizing the offside. Have that shit played over there as well. That way, you have coaches, you have the fans. You don't have to necessarily explain yourself.
Yeah.
And if you call it wrong, then you obviously need clarifications.
I will say that I'm sure that there are people in certain offices or commissions in the Portuguese league or in the Prem or whatever that are watching American sports, because American sports has this elite level of entertainment, right? These referees come like fumble on the goal line, automatic first down, and everybody goes nuts, right? So they want to bring that to European sports. So I do blame the North Americanism cultures that they're coming. You know, I was with a professional Portuguese coach watching NYCFC Red Bulls at Yankee Stadium, which was a great experience. We had really good seats. It was a lot of fun. And then, like, at halftime, somebody proposed on the big screen, and he goes, "Foda-se, só na América." Right? He goes, "Daqui já nos vais ver isto em Portugal também, vais ver." So, and then, like, it dawned on me for the rest of the second half. I was like, this is so true. They're not used to this, like, just the way the grandism of American things, right? Everything's bigger, everything's better, everything's faster, everything's quicker. So I do think that these leagues are looking at that and trying to bring entertainment, right? Like, I went to same trip when I was in Cascais. I go to Estoril Porto, and Porto lost. And Estoril had cheerleaders. What? They just made it back up. What are you doing? You guys don't pay the players. Cheerleaders and dancers. It was weird, but I think that it's also good because it's building a little bit of
diversity.
Just a different vibe for them and making people buy in. I'm good with that, but
what do you think of the call up, the 26 player call up?
Is anybody that you would have brought up
Or kept off?
hard. I don't think he missed by much, because as a coach, when you start looking at, I'm going to say spot 26 is the third goalkeeper, which at this point it's either José Sá or Patricio. For me, it's Sá, but
Agreed.
it is what it is. Patricio won us the Euro too. Like,
Yeah.
All right.
Some
26.
Patricio. Some Patricio.
When you go player 23, 24, 25, what you're looking at there is what are they going to bring to the team in terms of like energy or an opportunity or just something. You're not looking at a difference maker there, right? So whoever that is, like in those three, I would say you got Pedro Neto, that's in those three, right? Maybe Chico's in one of those three.
Nunes, I just got
And
called.
Nunes is the other one. He left home 13 goals and 14 assists in our domestic league through Horta. And he left home 18 goals, 17 assists through Pot from our league. We talked about Nunes sitting the bench a little bit, right? We referenced it. Yeah, and I try to justify it by saying, look who he's training with. But why not bring a guy from our league like Pot? I understand there's other things behind it. Maybe Pot doesn't train the way Martinez likes. Maybe he doesn't have Jorge Mendes as an agent. Whatever it is that they make those call-ups by. For real, like this is the nuances of the professional game. I think that's one of the players that I probably would have brought is Pot. I'm not a gigantic Horta guy. I think he's great in his setting, and I think there's a level for everybody. Braga is for him. That's him.
Even Jota Guimarães, I think he had an incredible year. Like,
Yeah.
could have deserved
Exactly.
that.
So you could interchange those three with the three that we just spoke about, and I think anybody could argue that for hours, right? But I think when you're looking at 1 to 22, he got it. He got it, right? Don't tell me like these Totti Gomes or these Diogo Leite or whatever should make it in besides these guys. Antonio Silva, Gonçalo Inácio, Pep, Ruben Dias are our best center backs. Cancelo, Nelson Semedo, Dalot, Mendes, best fullbacks we have. And you have the luxury of Dalot and Cancelo being able to play on either side. Rafael Guerreiro being hurt is rough. But what national team has the luxury of saying, oh, Cancelo, just play on the left, my man?
Yeah.
It's not like
And
he's
we'll
a-
still give you the
it's
same
not like
thing
he's a
as he would
scrub.
give you on the right.
Exactly.
Same thing with Dalot.
Especially because tactically, what he did the last couple games is the fullbacks inverted inside to play with Padinha. So João Cancelo is just going to play like a 6 a little bit. So,
What he did at City.
yeah, what he was doing there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so, I mean, squad-wise, I think he got it. I think he found the balance. those guys that are the last ones, are they going to bring energy? Are they going to do stuff? Yeah, like hopefully they don't take anything away from it. We have a great team, but I think when I think about the Portuguese team, like obviously I think about it as a fan, and I love the seleção and all that stuff. But as a people, like Portuguese people are a little bit pessimistic, right? And we're so quick to pull the trigger on the negative stuff, like right away. And I think that we shocked the world in 2016, right? We won when we probably didn't have the best team to win in 2016. We scrapped games, we were gritty, and Fernando Santos kind of had that like us against the world mentality. And then after you win, when you're at that level and you're at the top, you have to have a certain level of confidence / arrogance to believe that you can stay in that position, right? But a lot of people revert to like this fight versus flight kind of like mode where they want to be safe. And we went from playing this like good style in 2016 to counterattacking and safe and back. And through qualifying for the next World Cup and everything, man, we struggled. Yeah. We struggled because Fernando Santos didn't want to lose because he tasted winning. But that should be more of a reason to unleash what you had. Now, that's just my opinion. I think that like the people that I think it was one of the English websites, I forget what it was, 30% of them said Portugal was their favorite, and it was a UK website. Men, I don't think there's 30% of Portuguese people in Portugal. They're like, essa seleção não vai ganhar nada. You know, that's just like we're just so negative right away.
Yeah, we're definitely, as the Portuguese, like we're definitely not very optimistic.
No.
I think
We're not even like that with our own fucking club team.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that's just being Portuguese as overall. We were never like the optimistic people that'd be like, and then we have that 1% of hope that we do become champions. But then we got the 99% that's like, vão lá passear, bebe uma Heineken and fucking go to Amsterdam.
Bro,
and that's it.
The whole 2016 run, bro. I was like, que puta de sorte temos. Que puta de sorte. Não vamos ganhar nada. And then we scored. Dude, I'm crying, bro. I'm fucking crying. Tears in my face.
Listen,
dude.
as messed up as this is to say, do you know how many Portuguese people were excited when Ronaldo came off in the final of the Euro? Agora podemos perder. Se o Ronaldo.
We have a group chat. We have one guy. I'm not going to mention his name. We have one guy. He goes, onde estava Ronaldo hoje? But then we have the other 7 people in the group chat.
No, he scored 2 bangers this week.
And he scored 2 bangers. He goes, onde estás agora, caralho? Fala. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's people that celebrate. Don't get me wrong. 39 years of age, scoring as the amount of goals he has. You have to put some respect in that name. It's uncanny.
I have
uncanny.
1,000,000% respect for the man.
Oh, absolutely.
To me, it's
Off and on pitch.
incredible. Yeah.
And if he was getting the service that he should have gotten at United, he would have stayed and he would have became he probably would have won more fucking titles at United.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, think about it. He had more goals this season than you guys had overall.
Oh, yeah, I said that in the last podcast. Yeah. He scored 54 and United's only scored like 52 all year.
He does have to be realistic with his role, though, and he needs to embrace there might be a time there's a change or something like that, and he has to be cool with it. And I think he's there, but I do know that he loves to be the man because he's competitive and all that stuff. But you know,
can never change his attitude. The way he is. No. It's just the way he is.
Hey, but that's it's definitely ego. But it's also like you've always, and we've said this time and time again. He's a hard-working player where he gotten everything that he has through hard work.
Yeah.
Messi is raw talent. It's just a talented man overall, and obviously the team that he did play for, Barca, he could do everything with the ball. This man, you literally have everything in the ball.
Talking to me about Ronaldo Sanchez being touched and yellow card right away, bro. Come on, dude. Where do you think he learned it from? Come on. You couldn't touch the man. So, Roberto Martinez, right? How do you think so far? Because we've had 10 games under him?
10 league qualifiers and I think a couple of friendlies.
Lost 2?
We lost Slovenia 2-0 and
Croatia
2-1, 2-0, whatever.
What do you think so far? Because he's definitely brought in two different formations that he can almost unleash in different scenarios
Yeah.
and games. We look actually really competitive.
Yeah. I think he's done a great job of.
I think he always have the shadow of the Belgium failure in his background.
Yeah, and that's scary too. But I also think like when you live in like the media world today, you listen to those things a little bit. And now I know we're talking about the Seleção, but like I say that about like Schmidt. I feel like Schmidt in the other countries he was in, he had a control over himself because he didn't listen so much to the media. But like in Portugal, he was really pushed to change his decisions by the fans. Now, Roberto Martinez is a little bit more stubborn, so he's going to do what he wants to do. So in the qualifiers, I took a really deep look because the first 5 games he played a 3-man back, which I like to do. So I was like, all right, this mofo is coming playing this. Like, I want to see what he's doing. And Portugal looked good. Now, I know people are going to be like, oh, but look at the teams they played. But how many years did we struggle against those same teams?
Facts.
And we're now winning 5, 6, 7, 8-0 like we were now. Now, there's a free-flowing football. We have great center backs. We have a good balance of a team.
Young and old.
Very good
You have
listen, if you play the back line, if you play a 3-man back and you go Dias, who's the present, Pep, who's the past, and you play either Antonio Silva or Gonçalo Inácio, that's the future. You literally have the 3 in one line. It's unbelievable. But I think he, and I don't want to say play it safe. I think he's going to play it sensible. He's going to go 4-2-3-1 first, even though he's done the 3-4-3, he's done the 4-3-3, he's done a few things. I think he's going to go that way because Portugal is going to find the balance, and because we have, and I don't care what anybody says, for me, the preferred 6 in the world because of my style. João Palhinha, last 2 years, the most 50-50 challenge won in the world, or in the Prem at least, but if he's the most in the Prem, he has to be in the top in the world. He's going to allow us to do things like unleash João Cancelo, let Nuno Mendes go, give freedom to Vitinha, give freedom to who I think our most important player is going to be, agree or disagree, is Bruno Fernandes. He's going to be the key piece because he's going to be the one that makes those runs to then find Cristiano Ronaldo in the middle or even take the shot himself like he does. I think if you're looking at the last game, think about both of Ronaldo's goals, right? It was a ball that started in this space that we discussed here, right? Ronaldo's played into here, cuts in, scores, similar to when Felix got the ball, except it was from the other side, and they play. When Bruno Fernandes scored 2 goals against, who did he play? Finland. Who was the one that opened the space for Bruno Fernandes both times? Chico Conceição wide, played Bruno Fernandes first time goal. Bruno Fernandes is going to be the one that opens those chances for Ronaldo. Ronaldo knows it's going to come. I do think Ronaldo starts.
Yeah.
My opinion. At least game 1. We'll talk game 1 because Seleção has to be game by game. It's a tournament team. Tournament team and league teams are different. Tournament team, I think Ronaldo starts game 1. But I think that Bruno Fernandes in that role is going to be, that is the key man right there.
So what's your start team? I forgot who we play with first. For him?
For Martinez. I'll give you Martinez's team. My team would be different. I think he's going to go Diogo Costa, João Cancelo. He's going to go Pep and Ruben Dias. He's going to go Nuno Mendes, Palhinha, Vitinha, Bruno. He's going to go Bernardo Silva, Cristiano Ronaldo in the middle, and Rafael Leão.
What's your team?
My team would be a tad bit different. So I would say Gonçalo Inácio, Ruben Dias, Antonio Silva in the back. Danilo is not a center back for me, so
Agreed.
Sorry.
Yes.
I would play deep lying midfielders. I would go Palhinha and how do I want to spin this? I would play Palhinha and Vitinha. I would play Bernardo, Bruno, Nuno Mendes, João Cancelo. 3-2-4-1.
So I have the wing backs.
Yeah. The wing backs would be a little higher. And again, I'd keep the M shape because this is the style that I like. Vitinha would be a little deeper. Bernardo will have that comfortability of the half space that he has in Man City, which he can't have when we play in the 4-back because he stays so wide. Bruno the difference here is going to be simple. If we play it right, Bernardo could get wider space, Cancelo can shift in, and Vitinha comes higher to play with Bruno. Bruno will have some freedom to make moves and do those things. I would bring Rafael Leão off the bench because of consistency. Like when you look at AC Milan, go look at his goal scoring, right? 5 straight games with a goal, 5 straight games without. 5 straight games with a goal, 5 straight. My man is streaky. Now, if this is the month where he decides to be on, graças a Deus. But we don't know, right? That's the thing. Is Leon great? He's great, but
I definitely think he's a super sub. Yeah. I don't think personally, to me, I wouldn't start him. But when he, like you said, when he's on, he's on.
Yeah.
And our problem is now is, if you play the 4-back, you have nobody else to play left. Who else do you play left now? You have Duke Jota, but Duke Jota is mainly now a central player.
Yeah.
You have Neto and Pichico, but before them two, it's obviously fucking Leão.
And that's
and you have João Felix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So who? But I wouldn't start Pep in the back three.
No.
I would leave Pep out. I'd put the 2 young guys. I'd put Ruben Diaz in the middle. Ruben Diaz is used to that at Manchester City. Gonçalo Inácio plays that position. Antonio Silva would have to make a small adjustment, but
yeah, but he's played a back three in Benfica too when he was him, Otamendi, I think Morata in the back as well. It wasn't Morata.
Benfica's never played a back three.
Yes, they did.
They haven't played it in a really fucking long time.
They definitely played the season.
Yeah.
No, we haven't.
Always watched every game.
Morato's been our left back this season.
But you guys have played a back three.
No, we haven't. Maybe in transition with the ball, it goes to a back three, but not.
I'm gonna get you on that.
Okay, that's fine, bro.
Fuck por favor, dude.
Morato before Fernandes came to Benfica, bro, was playing left back.
I'm gonna fucking profile you with facts, dude. Watch. Anyways, I think we have gone for like about an hour and 45 minutes, and it's been a long one. It's been an enjoyable one as well.
Absolutely.
Nick, you want to plug yourself in? What you got going on? If you got any games? How can if someone obviously with a low budget or a high budget wants to apply to be in the academy, how can they apply? Or
so if they go to ironboundsoccer.com, they can email the directors of coaching and then get an ID clinic, which is a little bit more intimate than a regular tryout because you come to an actual practice, which is the best way to identify a player. When you have open tryouts and people sign up for them, it's so watered down. You get like 50 kids in an age group and you don't really know who you're seeing them against. He could look like, a prime, amazing player, and then you put him in a practice and he can't do a passing pattern or a certain sequence. So it's really good to see them in those practice environments. So if they email, if they get the email from ironboundsoccer.com, they'll invite them out to sessions, and there's teams at every level. There's a level for every kind of player in America, and especially in the Ironbound. So everybody has a place in the club, in my opinion. It's just whether they're willing to accept what team that is. But yeah, that would be great. Like for me, tonight I have a game in Metuchen against Copa with my semi-pro team, and then Tuesday we play home against Staten Island. We're kind of in the middle of our season, and then on Wednesday I'm going to Nashville for the MLS Next Showcase with my U14s.
Nice.
So we're playing a team from California, a team from Texas, and some team from the Midwest. I believe it's like Indiana. So
do you guys have any socials where people can find you?
Yeah. So there's Ironbound SC _ MLS, and then there's Ironbound SC _ USL. So both of those teams have that.
Sweet.
So I can send it to you guys as well, of course.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put it on the descriptions.
Yep.
Yeah.
So last thing before we end the pod, right? Last Euro questions, okay? Who you guys got as winning the Euro?
Germany.
I got 3. It's in between.
Give me one. I don't want to hear fucking 3. Give me one.
Portugal.
Say what you're playing, not your heart.
France.
All right. Dark horse.
That's a good one.
Hungary.
They just lost.
Switzerland.
It's all good.
They just won. What the fuck? Spain.
I don't know if that's really a dark horse, but okay, I get that. Top goal scorer.
Harry Kane.
That's actually not a bad shout.
Kylian Mbappe.
Riss.
Who?
The German.
Oh, Wirtz.
Wirtz,
Wirtz.
Young player of the tournament.
Wirtz. No, sorry, Jude Bellingham.
Musiala.
That's actually a real good shout too.
That's what I would say. Either Joel, actually Musiala.
There you go.
Yeah. Player of the tournament. That's the last one.
Depends who wins.
Doesn't depend who wins. Diego Fulham won player of the tournament in the World Cup and
Jude
came
Bellingham.
third or
Jude Bellingham for me.
remember that fucking year, bro? He was fucking disgusting. Free kick. He had just signed for United.
Yeah.
Mbappe.
Safe answers.
Player of the tournament.
I'm also looking at throughout the season who's been consistent.
This is a knockout tournament, bro. It's a knockout tournament. Anything can fucking happen.
I think the final is going to be Portugal-France. I think France beats us in the final. Bruno Fernandes wins player of the tournament. But Mbappe wins Golden Boot.
Interesting.
It's good predictions.
I wouldn't be too mad at that.
I
would be.
I want that. I want to win. That is about you. Before we end, I know we have a couple things. 4th of July in Bridgeport, Connecticut. That's the only party I'm aware of at the moment. I don't think you guys don't really do anything here in July, do you? Oh, yeah, you do. Festival de Cultura.
Yeah.
I forgot the date. It's right
Right.
there. It's the date. It's right there.
I don't know what
I think it's
The 13th.
July 13th.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? So we have those parties. I think besides that, we don't have anything else. Obviously, a lot of people go to Portugal. There's weddings, this and that, reais in Portugal, where I'll be missing all of them.
Ooh.
I also want to thank, one thing that we're very happy about. At first, we were a little sketched out, but we're glad we ended up talking to them. Tasca Lusa ended up partnering with Palma Media Entertainment, which they're out in California. So they're actually going to be running our episodes through their media app. So if you guys want to go online to your app store or Google Play, whatever Android has, you just write Pama Entertainment Media, and you should see their website. Their application there, and you could see what they got going on. They got different radio stations. They also got the Pama magazine for like businesses, Portuguese-based, owned, or like whatever associations they're part of. They do on Pama magazine, where you could see and be alerted on Portuguese community stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, if you look on our Instagram, I think we have the dates and times that.
Yeah, I think we're at Tuesdays.
Yeah, I think was it Tuesdays? I wasn't 100% sure. I looked at it and it's been a hectic week. But if you look on our Instagram, we'll have what day they broadcast us. But definitely a great opportunity. We definitely thought it was a scam. Honestly. And
Yeah,
I think we
then we
told
ended
them
up
that, and
talking.
we started talking. I was like, oh, so these are actually people.
Yeah, you can never
You know?
be too safe when it comes to like internet. But yeah, we spoke to them. They're great. Nelson is the head, the person that started Pama, and then we got Sylvia, which is the one that reached out to us, and they've been great. They also have a bunch of different podcasts. The Friendly Podcast. They have the Seleção Podcast. I'm gonna miss a couple, but they're phenomenal. Like, they've been very friendly, reaching out to us, asking a couple questions. So yeah, give them a shout out. Go follow them. Obviously, follow us at Tasca Lusa 90.
Yeah.
Marco, take it away.
So, another episode down. This is going to be a long one, so buckle in on your ways to work. This is a good episode to watch because I know in New Jersey there's always fucking traffic everywhere. Story of my life. But yeah, you can find all of us, like he said, at Tasca Lusa _90, you said, right? Or Tasca Lusa 90.
No, Tasca Lusa 90.
90.
And YouTube, I changed it to Tasca Lusa 90 as well to make it easier on everybody.
There you go. Subscribe, like, comment, please. Please. Joey, you want to add anything?
No.
Nick, anything?
Viva Portugal.
Well,
Thank you, boys. Thank you, Brendan.
Of course,
thank you for coming, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Descobrir as raízes a brilhar com a alma lusitana a vibrar. Vem ouvir, vai sonhar com a Tasca Lusa a nos encantar. Descobrir as raízes a brilhar com a alma lusitana a vibrar.